Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha. Today, 5th canto begins. In this, the second son of Swāyambhuva Manu's narration is explained. That's how 5th canto begins. Sukadeva Goswami had told King Parikshit about how Priyabrata, the second son of Swāyambhuva Manu, became a disciple of Narada Muni and performed great devotional service and received self-realization and then engaged in family life to enjoy family. Hearing this, Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami, "O honorable, worshipable, spiritual teacher, please explain to me how Priyabrata, the son of Swāyambhuva Manu, after receiving self-realization and becoming attached to the Supreme Lord, engaged in household affairs. Can you please explain? Because household life tangles one and takes one away from liberation. Very difficult to obtain liberation while being in household, because the goal of human existence is forgotten there. Very difficult to remember. And thus, karmabandha parabhava, one becomes tied to repetition of birth and death, tied to this world, because his moksha, liberation, becomes defeated. From the beginning of creation, the two paths were created. Path of enjoyment, household life, and path of detachment, brahmachari and sannyas life. In path of attachment, it's very difficult to remember the goal of human existence. Very difficult to receive liberation, because one becomes very attached to his wife and kids, or husband and children, and thus the liberation slips away from their hands. But those who accept path of renunciation do not become tangled in the family affairs, getting married, having children, earning money, spending money, loss and gain, and all that, and enjoy sense gratification, then their liberation becomes very easy. Path of detachment is very easy to receive liberation, because in this there is no anxiety of maintaining family, quarrels among husband and wife, children headache, family affairs, friends and relatives, reputation, earning and loss. All that is not there. Thus, they, without any anxiety, work for liberation, chanting the holy name of the Lord. But in this path of sense gratification, if one engages thinking that this family life is remedy for path of detachment, renunciation, that from this, if child takes birth, I will help the child to grow to take sannyas. In this way, if somebody accepts family life and do not become lost in enjoying sense gratification, they become purified at their heart in due course and achieve liberation. If the thought of householder is to engage in the service of Lord Krishna, whatever way, maximum possible, and produce children for Lord Krishna, only then that household life does not become tied to the soul, to this world, for this world, but becomes liberating, helping hand to achieve liberation. When Parikshit Maharaj heard the son of Swāyambhuva Manu, Priyabrata, took initiation from Narada Muni and practiced spiritual life rigorously and became a self-realized soul and enjoyed working for Krishna, felt pleasure in Krishna consciousness, but accepted household life. Because household life is a remedy to tie to this world. How it is possible that he enjoyed, Parikshit wanted to know how got into it. It is actually a fact, a disciple, if he or she hears contradictory remarks, as Parikshit heard from Sukadeva Goswami about Priyabrata being a self-realized soul, became attached or engaged in household life, enjoying sense gratification, it is their duty to ask clear questions from their spiritual master. Spiritual master's duty is to be with his disciple and available for them to clear their doubts, not hide behind. Guru should not hide from disciples. Oh, what kind of questions they will ask? Possibly I will get tangled and I am unable to answer. I don't have much knowledge. Such things should not take place with the Guru. One should not occupy Guru's position unless one is pure, fully pure and thoroughly learned in the scriptures. Because taking charge of somebody's liberation is not that easy. Taking somebody's karma as the name of donations or name of paying obeisances and worship is not easy. Destroy your karma first. You become pure devotee. You receive liberation. When you are liberated, you know you are liberated. Then only think of helping others to receive liberation. The duty of disciple is to go after Guru and ask questions humbly, present questions and clear up their doubts by receiving answers. Those who continue doing devotional service, continuously not have a break, no vacation in spiritual life, then their heart becomes purified in due course of time. They receive self-realization. Even if they are grihastas, enter in a household life, having wife or husband and children, they don't become tangled with or proud of having wealth, nice family, good wife, good husband, nice children, nice friends, good relatives, loss and gain and all that. Respect from others, like that, they do not become tangled. Such people, such devotee householders, they attract Krishna towards them. because they remain detached with household life. Anashaktasya visayan pujarhan upayunjata. Nirvandha Kṛṣṇa sambandhe yukta vairagya uchyate. One should not become attached to sense gratification. Visaya vastu means objects of sense gratification. No. But use them in the service of Kṛṣṇa. Then, even though householder is equal to sannyasi, prapanchika taya buddhya hari sambandhi vastuna mumukkhvi parityago falgu vairagya kathate. If household life can be used to please God, if wife can be used to please God, if husband can be used to please God, if children can be made into devotees, a sannyasi, Swāmī, such householder life should be accepted. Prapanchika taya buddha, this is maya. I don't want to accept thinking that and relinquishes and then thinks about them, that life, sense gratification. There is no, it's called falgu vairagya, monkey renunciation, false show of spirituality. How Priyabrata became steadfast in his devotional life, wanted to hear about him. Thus asked his spiritual master Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami said, "This is true, you know. Whoever's mind is engaged in devotional life, chanting the holy name, performing devotional service, and reading about transcendental glories of Lord Kṛṣṇa, or hearing the narrations from a pure devotee, all the obstacles and problems of life cease, and only benefits occur," means liberation is sure. Self-realization occurs. Those who do not relinquish spiritual life even at the time of difficulty, they are called real devotees. Doesn't matter what problem they face, they don't give up spiritual life. That makes one become self-realized in due course. Problem with, Sukadeva Goswami says, problem with Priyabrata was that his father Swayambhava Manu desired that his son engage in family life, produce children, take responsibility of ruling, and fill up the world with children, progeny, dynasty. Also, he had responsibility of ruling, so he takes, then he goes, resigns and goes to perform devotional service, tapasya, austerity in the jungle. That was his desire. So, he had asked Priyabrata. Parikshit Maharaj is hearing Sukadeva Goswami speaking. Swayambhava Manu, the father of Priyabrata, asked him to do this, take responsibility. But Priyabrata presented this secretly, not in front of his guru. So Priyabrata thought, engaging in family life is very attachment comes and loss and gain and children and become mesmerized and path of liberation becomes blocked. Cannot reach to the self-realized platform, cannot advance in spiritual life. Thus, he did not accept the proposal of his father, Swayambhava Manu. He rejected. But Lord Kṛṣṇa had told in Bhagavad Gita, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir. You accept things, but offer it to the Supreme Lord. Brahma-Havir, Brahmarpanam, Kṛṣṇarpanam, like that. Do it for Kṛṣṇa. Yat karosi yadasnasi, another place. Whatever I do it for me, just to please me. That do it. But that Prince Priyabrata, he was not in this mood at that time. Therefore, he did not accept the royal throne and responsibility of ruling. Because he thought such thing cannot be offered to the Lord. He did not know the process too. Priyabrata was engaged in serving his spiritual master Narada Muni, following his orders. And Narada Muni did not know what Priyabrata had asked because Swāmī Manu did not present his desires to his son in front of him. Therefore, Priyabrata's rejecting the proposal of his father did not bring any offense. From the time of Lord Brahma's birth till now, Lord Brahma's desire was to fill the planet with people. Because Lord had told him to do. So he is following his guru. So he also knew what is going on earth because he is all-knower. So Priyabrata, what he said, and Swāmī Manu, what he wanted, Brahma knew. One must actually follow all the time their spiritual master's desire. That is the duty of a disciple. Developing the world also helps people. Lord Brahma knew that, Swāmī Manu knew that, but Prince don't understand that yet. When Priyabrata rejected Swāmī Manu's proposal, and Lord Brahma wanted to develop the world by increasing population, he took his associates and climbed upon his swan carrier, his carrier swan, and descended to earth. At that time when Brahma was coming, Narada Muni was present with Priyabrata. And Lord Brahma's arrival is known to Narada Muni, and he stood up with folded hands to welcome him. Manu Maharaj also stood up. Priyabrata, seeing two stand up, then he also stood up. This is the way the spiritual master is welcomed, by folded hands and standing up and worship. However much one is busy, however much one has responsibilities, still to respect Guru, one must relinquish everything and stand up and welcome, pray and worship. Narada Muni worshipped Lord Brahma and prayed to him. After blessing his son Narada Muni, his disciple Narada Muni, Lord Brahma smiled at Priyabrata and spoke to him. He said, "O Prince Priyabrata, I tell you the truth. You listen to me. I, Lord Shiva, and your father Swāmī Manu, we are just puppets in the hands of the Supreme Lord. We follow his orders, including your Guru, Narada Muni. He also follows. Whatever order we have been rewarded, we are continuing. Therefore, You should not see any faults in the orders of the Supreme Lord because he is my Guru, Lord Brahma said. Lord Brahma's Guru is Lord Kṛṣṇa. And Guru's orders following is the duty of disciple. Unconditionally follow. But Brahma thinks that Priya Brother does not know which is true. He did not know. So he said, Prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi varshanaha. Everything is related to the Supreme Lord. He is the original originator of everything. Don't become attached to them, but accept them and use them to satisfy his will. Like that. He presented. He said that neither me, nor Shiva, nor your father Swāyambhuva Manu, nor your Guru Narada Muni can deny, avoid the orders of the Supreme Lord. We are tied with the rope of orders of Vedic instructions. Like a bull who is tied to a rope and pulls the weight or works for the boss. Like that. Horse works, being tied to the rope. By developing the world, following the orders of the Lord, remaining detached, benefits you and everybody else in this world. Lord Brahma wanted that the Prince Priyabrata takes over the rule of the world and becomes a family person. Brahma was sitting on his swan carrier, did not get down yet, and Narada Muni heard what Brahma wanted. Now Narada Muni is suggesting to Priyabrata to follow what his father, means Priyabrata's grandfather, Brahma says, and what his father Swāyambhuva Manu wants, you must do. And this is the proper procedure to do. If one satisfied, one follows the desires of the Supreme Lord, result is perfect, like a blind man following an eyed person reaches his or her goal. Similarly, one must follow the instructions laid by the Supreme Lord through the scriptures. Not care about personal happiness and distress, carry on following the orders. And then he says, even the liberated people, they carry on following the orders of the Lord. They cannot avoid. As long as liberated people possess a material body, it's called prarabdha. Sanskrit body, material, physical body is called prarabdha. As long as one has prarabdha, has to experience some problems. So don't think that family life will have some problems. That's why you want to avoid. Actually, it is a fact. There are problems in family life. If you come to see a Swāmī, you have to ask your wife or husband. You have to take permission. But if you are a Swāmī or sannyasi, then you go to see a Swāmī, you don't need to ask any permission from anyone like that. You don't need to tell anyone like that. Everybody has to go through their happiness and pleasures and pains as per their karma, as long as they have a material body until they go back to Godhead. When one has 6 senses under his control, 5 working senses and the mind, then if one is in the household life, there is no problem. But if 6 senses are not under in control, even if one accepts renounced order of life, he will face problems. Lord Brahma says further, he says, household life is like a big fort. As long as one is inside the fort, the 6 enemies, the working senses, 5, and the mind will not torment. Fort keeps safety from enemies. Enemy cannot disturb person inside a big fort. When senses become sad, means loose, means not capable of doing things, then come out from the fort, no problems. The enemies becomes loose, means powerless. When enemies become powerless, then no problems takes place. So one can go live. But remain in sannyas life, enemies are strong, it's very difficult in sannyas life. Lord Brahma is telling that. Only most fortunate people take renounced order of life, he says. Even though, then he tells encouraging words. He says, even though you are in the biggest fort of the Supreme Lord's lotus feet, Supreme Lord's lotus feet are also compared to a big fort by Lord Brahma. Bhajahure mana Śrīnanda Āchārya See? Even though you are in there, still you should follow the will of the Supreme Lord. The will of the Supreme Lord is told to me, and I am telling you, accept the household life. Also, Lord Brahma is a grandfather of Prabhupāda, father of Swāmī Manu. Prabhupāda is the grandson of Lord Brahma. Therefore, he is ordering him to do. And Prabhupāda being inferior, young, and Brahma being superior, the oldest living entity on this planet, has to listen. Prabhupāda, with folded hands and bowed head, accepted the orders of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, after telling this, he left with his associates back to his abode. Narada Muni also left to Brahmaloka, Lord Brahma's abode. The Niti Shastra says, Vihito yasya yo dharmo vishruna prabhavishuna tena muktir bhavet tasya tam gurur ved sarvavit. The Supreme Lord is the original creator of this universe. From him come Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and everybody else, including demigods. Whatever rules he has established in the Vedic scriptures, they must be followed for receiving success in human life. If anyone who follows the scriptural rules established there, their liberation is sure. We must follow scriptural rules, and Guru tells them what they are. Thank you very much.